Hello everyone, my name's Don Balance, and welcome to this demonstration of NewTek's TriCaster model TCXD300. This TriCaster is a portable live production system that allows us to deliver a network-style production from anywhere to anywhere, allowing us to broadcast as video, as a DVI signal, or directly to the internet. Let's go ahead and take a look at the front panel of the TriCaster. Now on the front panel of the TriCaster, we have all of our video and audio inputs and outputs. We have the ability to bring in 3 video signals, and these video signals can be SDI or component when you're working in high definition, or SDI component composite or YC when working in standard definition. One of the great things about this TriCaster is we can mix and match those inputs, so we can have a 1080i, a 720p, and a standard def all coming in at the same time. Now each video input also has audio associated with it, and this can be up to 4 channels of audio. We support AES EBU digital audio, we have analog audio inputs, and we also support embedded audio on the SDI signal. Now just below our inputs we have our outputs, and we have 3 video outputs as well. A great benefit of the TriCaster TCXD300 is that we can output both high definition and standard definition at the same time. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the interface of the TriCaster. This is the heart of your live production, and it acts as your control room. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now along the top of the interface we have our preview monitor section. Here we can preview our 3 live incoming video sources, as well as some of the other channels available to us on our switcher. Our network input for bringing in external computer sources, our DDR for playing back video clips, our stills area, our titles and graphics area, and our preview monitor. We also have a large program out monitor for seeing the final output of your production. Now we can change the monitor layout here by clicking on the tabs up top, and we can go to our switcher monitors. Now we're seeing the 3 buses that we have available in the switcher in much larger monitors: an effects row, a preview row monitor, and our program out. We also have a preview scopes mode, which brings up our preview window with our full color waveform monitor vector scopes. These full color waveform monitor vector scopes allow even the first time user to grasp the use of these tools and get the most benefit out of them. Now we've been looking at the TriCaster interface so far as one monitor, but we do have the ability to connect a second monitor to the TriCaster, and we can extend our desktop across to that second monitor. Currently I'm using my second monitor as a program out monitor, but I do have the ability to configure that in a variety of ways. I can make it my preview monitor, just to have a hard preview monitor available. I can make it both the preview and the program monitor side by side. But one of the most useful views we have is our all sources view, giving us a high definition multi-view monitor wall showing us several of the inputs and channels that we have available to us on our switcher, as well as a very large preview and program monitor, and a clock to keep an eye on the time during our live production. We also have the ability to bring up our waveform monitor and vector scope with our preview window on our secondary monitor, giving us a much bigger version to work with and bigger scopes to use. The TriCaster model TCXD300 features a 13-channel production switcher. This switcher allows us to create network-style video production and deliver it anywhere. Let's take a look at the switcher. Here we have our switcher control panel, and we see we have 3 buses that we can work with. We have our effects row, our program bus, and our preview bus. Now of course we can do cuts between 2 of our video sources, and we can do fades between our video sources, but we also have a large variety of video transitions available to us to fly our video on and off the screen. Now we have 5 banks available to us, and you can populate these banks with whatever effects you like to use most often. These effects can be run at multiple speeds, and we also have the ability to ping pong an effect, meaning we can fly video on and then fly it right back off again. We also have dual downstream keys available to us, giving us 2 layers of overlay over our production, and we have a master fade to black. Now the switcher also includes 5 virtual inputs. A virtual input is an input that's configurable by you, the user, and you can set it up to do a variety of effects. It's like having a switcher inside of a switcher. Let's go ahead and take a look. Our virtual input is set up right down here, and you can see that we have a new switcher available to us inside our virtual input. Now we can use this input to set up different types of effects. Something as easy as a straightforward keying effect, where you can quickly and easily choose whatever you want your foreground and your background images to be. Or this is where we can engage our LiveSet technology to do virtual set effects. Now, one of the great things about doing virtual sets in the TriCaster is we don't have to have a large green screen area to produce a large virtual set effect. You can see here that we have a very small green screen area around the two people in the set, and when we apply our live matte technology to remove the green, we get the illusion of being in a very large set. Now, each one of these sets inside of the TriCaster also allows us to zoom, and we have some preset levels of zoom that we can click on and snap to. But with the TCXD300, we've given you the ability to raise your production values significantly by adding the ability to do a live zoom. This allows us to mimic a zoom being done with a lens and a camera over time within a virtual set environment. The TriCaster comes with a variety of virtual set and virtual set types. These virtual sets are set up for people seated behind a desk, either one or two people in the shot. Also multiple camera angles for that network studio look and feel. We also have some full standing green screen sets available as well. Now, when we work with these types of virtual environments, if we ever want to make adjustments to the talent in the shot, normally this means we would have to go to the camera, we would have to zoom or pan. With the TriCaster, no camera operators are needed, and we can adjust every input into the TriCaster, both its scale and its position. I can go ahead and adjust the size of the on-screen talent, and I can also very easily adjust the position of them within the shot without adjusting the camera. Notice we have a video playing on our on-screen monitor. Again, every input is scalable and positionable, so we can scale that input and pan around on that input as well. The TCXD300 comes with 5 virtual inputs, but each virtual input has 12 presets available. A preset inside of a virtual input is like having another virtual input instantly available. It allows you to change every attribute within the virtual input, and the preset will remember that, allowing you to change out the virtual set, the position of your talent, the speed of your transitions, your zoom level. Every attribute is remembered. It's like having 12 virtual inputs per virtual input, giving us a lot more ability to set up complex shots and access them very easily. Now, each virtual input also has an overlay section, and this overlay gets locked down to that virtual input. Our overlay section here allows me to select any of the inputs into the TriCaster as my overlay. Once I have my overlay selected, I can go ahead and bring that title on, and you'll notice that if I switch to any other input in the TriCaster, we do not have that overlay happening. It is locked down to the virtual input itself. This overlay is also scalable and positionable. The TriCaster model TCXD300 comes with a dual downstream key. This means we have 2 levels of overlay that we can work with within our video production. Each overlay can be chosen from any of the inputs in the TriCaster. So in my first overlay here, we'll go ahead and use stills, and from my stills area, I'll choose the still that I want to use as the overlay. Let's go ahead and bring this up, and we can see that we have our first level of overlay. Now, this is overlaying the full graphic, and again, every input scalable and positionable. So let's go ahead and take that back out, and let's go to our switcher monitor mode. Now, when I go to scale and position my graphic, you see that I can scale it and position it right on the preview monitor before I take it live, ensuring that it's going to be in the right place the first time, every time. Now we have our second overlay. Let's go ahead and bring in a bottom third graphic here, and we can use these overlays independently. We do have a wide variety of effects that we can choose from to bring them on and off the screen, so we can choose from any of our effects to show or remove the titles. We can lock the 2 overlays together and work with them at the exact same time, Or we can bring one of them in, then lock them, and we can toggle them one on, one off. Now, any input inside of the TriCaster can be the overlay. So instead of stills or titles, we could bring up the DDR, for instance. Let's go ahead and bring in the DDR. And again, this is scalable and positionable. So I now have a scalable and positionable picture-in-picture that I can place anywhere on my production output. We can also use the DDR in the overlay to produce full motion overlay graphics. We could also bring in a live input. So here, I've got Kiki coming in as a matted footage where we've removed the green, and again, we can size her, put her down here in the corner, and again, use our effects to bring her on and off the screen. The Stills tab is where we can access still images to use within the live production. We do have a stills input on the switcher, so if I bring that up on preview and we switch to it, we can of course see the still that's currently selected, and we can manually select stills inside of the still bin using this like a still store. Now, another option that we have is to use the stills in the overlay, and again, I can select a still, go ahead and bring up the overlay, and if we use a still image that has alpha channel or transparency in it, of course we can use that transparency in the overlay channel. Now, another way to use the stills bin is as an automatic still player. We do have transport controls down here, and we can set up a duration on any of the stills. This one's set to 5 seconds. I put it in stills on the preview bus, and when we switch to it, it's going to play this still for our 5 seconds. We get a progress bar right here. When it's done, it's going to switch back to whatever we have currently selected on preview with whatever transition we currently have selected, and it'll queue up the next clip for us in the stills bin. If we switch back to stills again, we'll play the next picture in sequence there, and then when that's done, we're back out to whatever we have selected on preview. Now, we also have the ability to play back a sequence of images from the stills bin, like a slideshow. I'm going to come down here and just select the third to the last image here. We're going to play these last 3 images as a slideshow. And again, I just need to switch to the stills input on the switcher. It's going to play the first image for 5 seconds, the second image for 5 seconds, onto the third image, and then when this one is done, it's going to transition back out to what we have selected on preview. We also have the same presets here that we had in our virtual inputs, so we can organize our work. I can put all my overlays in one preset, all of my images for the presentation in another, and you do have the ability even to right-click and rename these presets to further enhance your workflow. A big part of any live production are titles and graphics. And there are many ways to create these inside of the TriCaster. Let's go ahead and look at the Titles tab. The Titles tab is where we can access our live editable title templates. Now, the TriCaster comes with a large variety of these title templates, and these are professionally made graphics that are easily configurable by the user. Simply pick one of our title templates, and now you're ready to go ahead and configure it for your own use. We can bring up our configuration requester, and this is a scalable requester, again, that can be used while you're in the live production environment. To modify the title, you simply click and type. I'm going to go ahead and give it a description line down here of new tech. And we have a place to drop an image in, and we simply click on Insert Image, pick the image that we want to drop in. I have a picture of Kiki here. And we also have some variables on the image where we can stretch the image, or we can show the entire image, and we can get the look that we want for our graphic. Now, we can also adjust the text once we've created it. We can click on it. We do have the ability to change things like the font. We can also change the font size, and we can do things like bold, italic, or underline. Once we've created the modifications that we're happy with, we're ready to use this title live. We simply select it, and I can use it in my overlay. We also have a variety of presets like we do in the Virtual Input Setup tab. And if I go to my second input here, you'll see that I've created a sequence of titles that I want to use as a build graphic. And I do have transport controls in here, so just like in the stills area, we can play this sequence back like a slideshow. We're going to go ahead and put titles on preview, and we're going to switch to it. We'll now see our build graphic happen over time. And when we get to the last frame of our build graphic, it's going to switch back to what we have selected on preview with our currently selected transition. The live editable title templates that come with the TriCaster give us a character generator right inside of the live production environment. We can create professional looking graphics quick and easy while we're live. Now you also have the ability to create your own custom graphics or modify the templates that come with the TriCaster using LiveText. LiveText is a full-featured character generator that also comes with your TriCaster. In today's live production environment, very often we want to be able to bring in video clips. To play back video clips from a TriCaster, we have an internal DDR. This allows us to play back a wide variety of clip formats and resolutions, and it doesn't take up any of our live incoming video sources. The DDR is accessible here in the interface, and we can see the video clips that are ready for playback. Now, these can be high definition or standard definition clips, 4:3 or 16:9. The TriCaster is going to go ahead and deal with them, whatever we want to play back. Now, it's also an automatic DDR in that we can just go ahead and put it on preview, and if we switch to the DDR, it pre-rolls and plays our video clip. It gives us a progress down here, and we've got a countdown. The numbers on our countdown turn red when we're under 5 seconds, letting us know we're going to be coming back to whatever we have on preview. And the DDR then will queue up the next clip. Again, if we switch back to the DDR, we're going to have that next clip, and the process will repeat. From within the DDR, you also have the ability to trim your clips, create in and out points. We can loop the clips. We can play them back at variable speeds, and we can also play back a selection of clips as a playlist. We also have preset bins for the DDR, allowing us to, again, organize our work and instantaneously access groups of clips without having to search giant lists. Another type of input that we often want to bring in during our live productions is an external computer interface. Now, TriCaster comes with IVGA technology, and this means that any computer, either Windows-based or Mac, on the same network as the TriCaster can show up as an input in the TriCaster with no other external equipment. No need for external scan converters and taking up video inputs. Any computer on the same network can show up as an input. I select my laptop as the incoming input. Now I can switch to it like any other input. Once we bring in a computer interface using IVGA, it is also possible to zoom and pan on that interface from the client computer. IVGA makes connecting external computers fast and easy, and it's the most flexible system for bringing in these types of inputs. The Audio tab reveals our audio mixer, and this mixer allows us to mix any of our incoming audio sources that are associated with our video inputs, along with any of the internal audio sources generated by the TriCaster. Now, the TriCaster has a DDR that can play back audio-video clips, and we can control the audio from those clips using this slider. But we also have the ability to do audio follow video. And this means if I transition to the DDR, we'll get a nice fade up. And if I transition away from the DDR, we get a nice fade down. Now, we can do audio follow video on any of the internal or external audio sources with our TriCaster. We also have the ability to play back audio from the stills bin. You'll notice I have an audio slider for stills here. If I go to the stills bin, I have an audio clip right now in the stills bin, and I'm playing it back. And I can control the audio here. And this would be great if I wanted to use this to play back a music bed underneath my entire production, but still have the DDR available for playing back video clips. We have an auxiliary audio out from the TriCaster, which can be configured by the user. We have the ability to adjust the stream audio separate from our master audio out. We have our master audio out control here, along with headphone audio control. And then we can also control the master volume by the control up here on our program out monitor. Notice that we have VU meters underneath any of the sources that are producing audio and a master VU meter underneath our program out. So if I didn't happen to be on the audio tab, I can still make adjustments to the master volume of the audio simply by using this control right here. We also have presets available inside of our mixer, allowing us to instantaneously snap to different mixer presets. TriCaster can output its live production in several ways. First, we can come out as video. We can come out as high definition and standard definition simultaneously. We can also output SDI and analog video signals at the same time, giving you a lot of flexibility with your video output. Now, we can also come out as a DVI signal if we wanted to feed a projector for a large live audience. And of course, we can stream live on the internet. When streaming with the TriCaster, you can choose from our pre-made streaming profiles for both Windows Media or Adobe Flash. Simply pick the profile you want to use, and you're ready to start streaming. When using the TriCaster to stream live on the internet, it will automatically archive your live stream for you. So as soon as you're done with your live production, you have a file that you can put up onto a website for video on demand right away. Now, the TriCaster also gives us the ability to record our full video resolution final production back to the internal hard drive in the TriCaster. Once you've recorded your production to the TriCaster, you can take that file and you can edit it with any nonlinear editor external to the TriCaster, but you also have the ability to edit it in SpeedEdit, the included nonlinear editor that comes with your TriCaster system. For more information on the TriCaster, you can contact your local NewTek reseller, and you can find that reseller on the NewTek website at newtek.com, along with many other fine NewTek products. I'm Don Balance. Thanks for watching.